Now we're going to get into more depth with the intercepts. So we already mentioned it before, but let's go over it again. The x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis, and it's the value of x when y is 0. So if you notice, if my line went like this, and it crossed at 1 on the x-axis, that point would be a horizontal distance of 1 and a y distance of 0 because it doesn't move up or down. It stays on the x-axis. Now if I draw a different line, let's say this one, my x-intercept would be -3. So the point where it crosses the x-axis would be -3 for the x because it goes 3 in the negative direction horizontally, but vertically it doesn't move at all. So that's why you say when you have the x-intercept, it's the value of x when y is 0. Any point on the x-axis, no matter what point it is going to have a y value of 0. Okay? Now let's look at the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and it's the value of y when x is 0. So if you look at, let me draw a different line. If I draw this line, where it crosses the y-axis is 2. If I listed that as an ordered pair, I don't move horizontally at all, so that's 0, but I go up 2. Let me draw a different line. This would be my y-intercept because that's where it crosses the y-axis. And because I don't move horizontally at all for that point, my x would be 0, but I move vertically down 2. So this is the value of y when x is 0 for the y-intercept. Okay, now let's work on this problem of example 4. It says there's a line that crosses the x-axis at 4, 0, and the y-axis at 0, 2. We're going to graph that. So this is going to be the x-intercept because it's the value of x when y is 0. This is going to be the y-intercept because it's the value of y when x is 0. So when I look at the point 4, 0, that means I come out horizontally in the positive direction of 4. But I don't go up or down at all. I have a vertical distance of 0. And then for the y-axis, we have an intercept of 0, 2. So I don't move horizontally at all, but I go up 2. And now, if I draw the line that passes through those 2 points, I can see my line based on the intercepts. This is my y-intercept, and this is my x-intercept. So now to find the slope, here's my vertical change, which is my change in y. Here's my horizontal change, which is my change in x. Now to find my change in y over my change in x to find the slope, my change in y goes from 0 to 2. So that's a 2 for my change in y. Now, when I look at my change in x, it goes from 0 to 4. So that's my change in x. So if you look at the line and you trace it left to right, that's going down. So that should be a negative slope. When we reduce that, we get -1/2. Now, if we do this using the formula, here are my points up here. Here's my second point. Here's my first point. So when I take y2, which is 2, and I subtract y1, which is 0, that gives me 2 on top. And then if I take my x2, which is 0, and I subtract my x1, that gives me 4. So that gives me a -4, which is a -1/2.